It's the midweek edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the show. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning and welcome. I can say it's a red morning. Welcome to the show. I enjoy
red morning.
I'm putting on blue,
I should
please.
have worn
No, red
red.
morning where? Like, where is red? I don't understand. Familiarity by extension. The red morning. Yeah, anyway, we will celebrate with them at the appropriate time. But now let's face serious business.
Yes,
and don't come for us. Don't say we are
like that.
haters. Don't come for us. We'll celebrate you at the appropriate time. But now let's do serious business. All you Arsenal fans, pack well, pack well.
And the noise is even too much.
What happened?
What is it?
After 22 years,
after
Elijah
22
Agboran.
years.
What's that?
That's a testimony.
Let's hear testimony. Now you're bringing miracle into it.
They have been pregnant for 22 years.
Now they are born pikin. Thank God for Ateta for you people. Finally,
Yes.
he's done it. Anyway, we'll come back to celebrate. Your celebration is second class for us this morning.
Second class, yeah. It's not top rated.
The two of us here this morning, we will show you better. Anyway, let's start with our news points on the show today. Ajibola, let's start with you.
Yeah, 2027, ADC predicts earthquake as Turaki PDP clears Jonathan. The Taminu Turaki SAN-led interim factional National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party on Tuesday screened 12 governorship aspirants ahead of the 2027 elections while granting automatic clearance to former President Goodluck Jonathan as the party's sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election. Chairman of the PDP NWC Screening Committee and former Vice President Nnamdi Sambo, represented by former Niger State Governor Babangida Aliyu, made the disclosure while answering questions from journalists after the screening exercise in Abuja on Tuesday. Reacting, the African Democratic Congress said Jonathan's joining the presidential race will alter the country's political calculations and trigger fresh strategic thinking across party lines. Jonathan, who served as president between 2010 and 2015, was reportedly granted a waiver on Tuesday by a PDP screening panel headed by Aliyu, paving the way for a possible return to the presidential race. Though the development is yet to receive formal confirmation from the national leadership of the PDP, it has already generated intense debate within political cycles, with analysts suggesting that Jonathan's reemergence could reshape alignment ahead of the next general election. Earlier, a former presidential aide and chieftain of the PDP, Umar Sani, alleged that Jonathan had already obtained a presidential nomination form ahead of the 2027 elections. Sani, who served as senior special assistant to the former vice president, made the assertion during an appearance on Trust TV. His comment comes amid renewed political consultations involving Jonathan across various political blocs, sparking fresh speculation that the former president may be considering a return to active politics nearly 12 years after leaving office. So that's it. Jonathan was granted a waiver by the PDP, a faction of the PDP.
Yeah,
a faction of the PDP.
But you know that there's a court case.
Yeah.
Also, you know, whether or not he'll be eligible to contest. I think that case is coming up today. So I think they still have to wait the verdict of the court to clear him to contest. And I was wondering where the earthquake issue came out from.
Headlines, are you?
Like, I don't even understand, you know, the earthquake about this particular situation. But I like the fact that at least the party is still making frantic efforts to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And, you know, to ensure that the PDP has a presidential candidate for the election. But we must understand that the PDP, as we speak, is factionalized. And until they come together as one, there could also be that jeopardy that one party, one faction of the party cannot present a presidential candidate. And this is the Taminu Turaki faction. How about the other faction, the Wike faction, that said, you know, so this faction, I didn't know are there three factions now, sir?
No, there are two factions. And,
this one, but you remember
this one is the inferior faction.
but the Sheyi Makinde faction
is also there.
that have joined with APM. That's what I'm saying.
So we
Are
have
they
three
now
factions
three?
now.
So
At the end of the day, Abimbola, all of them will reason together and common sense expectedly
should prevail.
Should prevail,
And
yeah.
then they'll have just one candidate.
I
or
hope
they
so.
should
But
have.
for me, if I were Jonathan, I wouldn't allow anybody to lure me to come
Remember,
back.
Mama Patience had said
They are supporting
enjoying her life.
President Bola
that
Ahmed.
she doesn't even want to come back to Aso Rock. Okay.
So
All right.
PDP faction of Taminu Turaki luring Jonathan to come back for me is not going to work. Just go and rest, enjoy your money.
Well, you can never read the mind of a politician, so let's see how this one will play out at the end of
Well,
the
I see
day.
Jonathan as the gentleman.
That's
Probably
how you see him.
Well, that's my own perception anyway.
Exactly. So let's take the second story this morning coming from the Defense Headquarters, dismissing claims of terrorist base in Southwest. The Defense Headquarters, DHQ, has refuted reports suggesting the existence of a terrorist stronghold in the Southwest, insisting that security operations currently underway are focused on rescuing abducted victims and eliminating criminal elements behind recent attacks. The clarification was made on Tuesday in Abuja by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja. Onoja stated that the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, has expressed sympathy to the government and people of Oyo State, as well as families affected by the recent abduction of pupils and teachers in Orire local government area. He condemns the attack on the schools, describing the abduction of innocent children and staff members as unacceptable and criminal. According to him, the armed forces have deployed all necessary resources and personnel to secure the safe and unconditional release of the victims. The defense spokesman appeals to Nigerians to remain calm, united, and continue to support security agencies with useful and credible intelligence. Onoja disclosed that the military had previously carried out extensive clearance operations within the old Oyo National Park, where criminal elements operating in the area were neutralized. He maintained that intelligence available to security agencies does not support claims that there is an organized terrorist base operating within the Southwest region. He further reveals that troops had already established contact with the abductors and were sustaining pursuit operations across forest routes in a bid to rescue the victims. Onoja stressed that cooperation from residents remained vital to the success of the ongoing operations, noting that timely human intelligence would greatly assist rescue efforts. Well, good thing that the Army is clarifying that there is nothing like that happening in the Southwest. But again, it will be nice for this military to sustain efforts in the Southwest to ensure that, these criminal elements do not also have a strong base in the Southwest. Yesterday, I came across a video of a school in Ogbomosho where there was a scare that, there could have also been people wanting to kidnap students and everything. When things like this happen, there's palpable fear everywhere. People are scared, and people also want to use such situation to also create their own negative, vices and do their own negative bidding. This is not the time to play pranks on people. This is not the time to, place ox calls around and do things that generally will make people live in fear, or people, not to be able to go about their normal duties. Yes, the Army has clarified, but it will also be good to sustain this effort and to match talk with action. I remember yesterday stumbling also on Governor Sheyi Makinde's press statement, where he said they had made contact with the terrorists and he was ready to negotiate. Again, the governor saying they will negotiate. The army is saying they will ensure that they get them back without negotiations. There's always this conflicts coming from government officials. Can they harmonize? Can they work together as a team, and ensure that the rescue is done? If you pay ransom, you can keep quiet about it and not necessarily make it an issue, because usually the security operatives will never come on national television or admit on paper that they pay ransom. So even if you're going to ensure that the lives of these children are saved, please just do it and do it on time, because we're losing time, and the more agitated these guys are, the more mean they become, and we do not want them to start taking the lives of these children or exposing these children to more harm than they have been exposed to as we speak. Yesterday, the family of the teacher also came out to say, you know what, please respect our family, stop circulating the video. It is horror. And you know, his children are currently writing exams. Just protect the family and protect the legacy and the memory of our loved ones. We need to get to that place where on social media, you know, we do things, like I told Jibola the other day, number one, I didn't even come across that beheading. Even if I did, I probably would not have watched it. And I would never share it, because there are things that you just need not share. Because you need to also protect these people who were involved. You think they would like
the video being shared?
Thing?
Yeah, to see the
We need to also respect the privacy of families, especially during times like this. Yes, we want to sympathize, but sometimes the way we sympathize is also horrendous for these families. Let's respect their privacy. Let's respect what they want, and let them mourn, you know, their loved ones in peace.
I do agree with Abimbola completely, but looking at it from another side, this particular issue that was raised that there are terrorists based in the southwestern part of the country, I think the military should not handle it with
levity.
Yes. Yeah, it's a piece of information, and I expect them to dig deep, because I also read somewhere where the Arena Kakanfo of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, actually confirmed that terrorists are beginning to spread in their tentacles in the southwest region of the country. So we should harmonize, like Abimbola did suggest, and of course look at ways of actually nipping these things in the bud before they escalate. And I also read somewhere that a 2-year-old was also involved in was part of those pupils who were kidnapped from the primary school in Oyo State. 2-year-old.
Primary school, nursery and primary school. You have 2-year-old, 4-year-olds.
Ajibola, that teacher,
that had a
baby strapped to her back. How old do you think that baby would be? For a baby to be strapped, it means that that baby is less than 2 years old.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? How did we get to that? I don't know.
Can't just imagine the chaos, the children crying, calling mommy,
and
daddy.
The psychological state of those mothers who were kidnapped alongside their children. Government should walk the talk. Government should do the needful. And of course, ensure that those people are rescued alive before we start seeing another video circulating around the country.
Absolutely.
Well, our producer said, you know, part of what the children, the boys had their shirts removed. They were blindfolded.
Wow.
They tied their hands behind in a... Let's move on. Let's move on. Joy, let's take a story.
Gowon warns against do-or-die politics ahead of 2027. Former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, retired on Tuesday, cautioned the political class against desperation and do-or-die politics ahead of the 2027 general elections. Gowon, who ruled Nigeria between August 1966 and July 1975, noted that despite the nation's mounting challenges, it would not disintegrate. The ex-military president spoke in Abuja during the presentation of his autobiography. The elder statesman used the occasion to reflect on his years in office, the country's turbulent political history, and the future of democratic governance in Africa's most populous nation. The former military ruler described 2026 as a landmark year in Nigeria's history, noting that it marked 60 years since the military intervened in governance and 60 years since he assumed leadership at the critical period when the country was on the brink of collapse. It says, on my watch, quoting him now as head of state, the country did not fall, and I am confident that the nation, despite all its challenges, still will not fall, declared Gowon. He warned politicians against actions capable of undermining democratic stability as preparations intensify for the next election cycle. Let me stop it here. I think the message is clear, and if this is coming from an elder statesman warning politicians to desist from playing the do-or-die politics? I think that is self-explanatory.
Well, of course, he's been there. He was a former president, and I guess the country, was saner when he was the military, when he was the military, president of Nigeria. But we do hope that things can get better, and perhaps one or two lessons that our politicians can actually learn from that era. Him saying certain things now. And I know he's always been part of that process, always been part of those who continue to pray for the peace and tranquility of Nigeria. But we just pray that things get better and the politicians will learn. But again, like I always say, you can never get into the mind of a politician.
You can never. You can never. Earlier I cited an example of Goodluck Jonathan, and that was exactly what you told me. But politicians not playing the politics of do or die. Even from the party primaries that we have seen, they are already playing the game of do or die.
It is part of, it is part of the system.
Anyway, the person is the one representing Abimbola at the State House of Assembly, because the kind of politics that is playing, it is do or die for me.
Have you heard?
During the last election, somebody stepped down for you. You praised the person from heaven to earth. And now for you to step down, you are saying no. That is the politics of desperation.
Power is sweet.
Power is sweet.
Once you taste it, you don't want to let go.
It's not
Then go back to your profession.
Wait now.
You still be in the limelight.
It's today.
It's today.
Don't worry. At the end of today, everybody will be fine.
Desperation being played by D.
DD. Ajibola is you.
The DD that I know is Dele Adediro. Oh, please.
Okay. Well, so that they won't say we are total haters. And Ajibola now already predicted that it was looking like, you guys were actually going to die day a day at the end of the season. You've played the second, the third, the fourth fiddle for so long. And last night, Manchester City helped you. Yes, they did. The draw helped Arsenal. If Manchester City had won that game, Arsenal would have still played their last game. But the draw for Man City last night actually, topped the icing for Arsenal. And that's why the celebrations since last night has been really, really, really loud, really, really sweet. And you've been hearing after 22 years, we finally made it. Okay, we give it to you. We saw it coming. We knew that from the beginning of the season, you were tenacious enough. You, Mikel Arteta, really, really for this season, knew that, I had battle to get out of this studio. But anyway, we congratulate all Arsenal fans in Nigeria and away. We finally
all over the world.
We finally can sleep now that you have done the needful, this year by clinching the EPL, the 2025-2026 season. And of course, I think also I said this season, it will be time for Pep Guardiola to take a bow. And I think at the end of the season, he would also be saying goodbye to the
Manchester
EPL. And I understand, a new coach is already waiting. We hope he can match up and, continue to keep City.
Former coach.
Yes.
Our former coach.
And keep City, there. But then, congratulations to Arsenal fans. You've done it this year. We hope you can keep up the game, keep up the tempo. But don't worry. Blues, where are we ending this year? At least we finally moved up yesterday.
I don't even know. I played well yesterday too. So
is it the Alonso effect? Are we happy that Alonso is coming?
Maybe.
It's going to give the Barcelona effect.
I hope so, and I'm praying so that Chelsea would have a better season next year. And congratulations to Arsenal fans globally. We rooted for you right from the beginning of the season, even up till now. I'm happy that you have won the EPL, but for the Champions League, my answer is no. It will not happen in the mighty name of Jesus. Yes. Yes. I'm so tenacious about it. They cannot win.
Don't say that. Status is changing.
You think Champions League is EPL?
It's not for the boys.
You don't know
it's
what
for the men.
Champions League is not EPL.
They want to be in the same league with Chelsea? No. It's not
Chelsea, you are too proud.
Leave us.
Do you know what it takes to win the Champions League? To conquer every club in the world.
Joy.
It is not a joke.
Has the sky changed being blue?
That's
Never.
how God made it.
That's how
just
God
made
made
it.
it. So that's how God
It has
made
nothing to do with Chelsea.
So Chelsea is a club of God.
Anyways, let's take a break. When we return, we'll quickly gloss over the column for today. Please stay with us on the conversation.
And I think she should stop
I
disturbing
think
me.
I should stop disturbing you.
Please.
She's celebrating
Make her
my
hear what?
extension.